Okay. Hey, so I'm a fan of Robert Murray Smith, and I've made quite a few rocket stoves in my life, but this is like the it was my own creation, just like messing around, and it's one of my favorite so far. I was trying to mess around with pressure inside of here, jet stove kind of thing. So I've got like 3 copper, kind of like coil. They're actually coils. They're hollow on the inside, and they come up, feed in where the flame goes through, and then go back down. So if they create a temperature differential, they should pump fluid, some of the ethanol, and I'm using Everclear as fuel, by the way. So people think I'm an alcoholic, but this is the purpose for it. So anyways, I separated the 3 coils by an aluminum foil partition. I just kind of rolled it in a certain way so that it separates the flame, and the flame comes out of the center. I don't know if you can see, there's like a little bit of a hole. I've stuffed aluminum foil in that too to try to give it more internal pressure. As the heat rises, it will causes Bernoulli's principle. The smaller an air gap, the faster the fluid moves through that at the lower pressure, which is what you want. So, and this also creates a little bit of turbulence in here too, which is what I wanted. I wanted that turbulence, something to break up the fuel flow out so that it would spread out and then heat these parts. What's interesting is, like, I've been noticing a lot of green color, and I'm not sure where it's coming from, because these haven't turned completely black, as you know. You can still see the copperish color on them. So it must be coming from this tape that I've used. And I put tape on here. It's a mesh tape. I thought it was titanium, but it might actually be copper. Because I've been getting a green flame, and I'm not sure what color titanium glow, like the ions of titanium are. I think it might be, I thought it was white, but it might be green. If it's some kind of different oxide or something of titanium, I'm not really sure. This is another part to it, which whenever you add it to the top, it creates a different type of temperature, and this makes more of an even kind of flow on the outside. This is where I've been seeing the green, because this will heat up. This is a stainless steel like tea strainer on the center. I don't know if you can see the holes. It's being coated in copper. You can see inside the color change on the inside. Yeah, this was steel before, and now it's like turning a copper color. So it's kind of cool. I don't know, I like it. But it'll glow red hot if I put it on top. And the flame will be inside for a long time. It'll stay inside of this thing until it heats up, and that's because the airflow, the way I've set this is just the top of an aluminum can on the bottom. But if you see here, where these air intake holes are on the sides, that level is above here, but it's also down here. So that way you're getting more fuel flow out than you are airflow in, which is what I want. I want to keep the low pressure here. It's for a reason. But anyways, there's three slots on it, which is perfect, because 3 is like the whole theme of this whole thing is like split it into 3s. I'm trying to, like, you know, if I turn this a certain way, like what happens. So this is my I'm calling it the tray. I thought of 3 different names. So I thought of the trefoil, which is I thought of the trident. That was one of them. The trident, the trefoil. I can't remember what the other one was. Trifecta. That was the other one. So yeah. Anyways, this just slides right in here. Right where that slot in the aluminum foil is. This is the the lid part where the handle is, and that slides in right here on top of it. Let me try to show you. It's hard to like show things on here, but so there's the thing, and then okay, where's the brake at? Yeah, can you see the brake right here? That just goes on like that. So it's orientation specific. Another cool thing about this is like these are little like tuna can top lid things that are just kind of strung together with some copper string or copper wire. And I meant to have these kind of like a pan holder thing, like you could set them. I was gonna weave it in, and then you could set your pan on top, and that gives it some space, right? And back that away. So yeah, it like has some space if I had like a little pan or something. Let me grab one. Like you have your little camp pan, and you set it down. And this one's heavy on the handle, so it's not wanting to stay on here. There we go. So just rest on there. It gives a little bit of space, right? But it's unnecessary for it to be on this part. It's more necessary here because this needs space. The other part has this air gap here, so it doesn't need that space like this one does. And this one's fine. Like that will sit on there and that will burn perfectly. So let's get it started, right? Let's put some alcohol in this thing and see how it burns. I want you guys to see it because this is really, I'll tell you how it works after I do the demonstration. So first we add Everclear. Should have measured a capful, but I lost the cap already. I've been using a, I must have thrown it away. I'm not really sure what happened to it, but I've been using a water cup lid because that one fits over the part. Oh well. I just put a little bit in there and it starts no problem. There's no problems with starting it whatsoever. So let's do that. I'll start it like this so you can see how it works in this op. So yeah, what do you guys think for the name of this thing? Oh yeah, you want to see something interesting? I didn't even show you the other stage of it. I like this one though. It has like good speed. It's almost like a half jet. It's like not quite a jet. It has like jet properties to it, but it's not it's more laminar than a jet would be. It's almost like a standing wave. Like a standing wave stove. Hey everyone, so I made another one of these things. Yeah, three prongs on it instead of one. It's miniaturized for butane. I made this angle on it in case there was a leak, so that the fuel would flow upwards towards the flame, and then get fed into it. It's kind of just like a backup thing. The tubes themselves, if you can see the large ones, they follow a true trefoil pattern, or what is that called? It's where three. It's not where one strand connects to three, but it's like three connect over each other, in a way that they're all influencing each other. Like one, sorry for the focus. Yeah, so each one wraps around another one. This one wraps around the second. This one wraps around the first. I guess, like, okay. The first goes through the third and then wraps around the second. The second goes through the first and wraps around the third, and the third goes through the second and wraps around the first. And then is angled. The third is angled output towards the second. The first is output angled towards the third, and the third is output angled towards the first. And my intention for this was for it to make kind of an even flame to heat, like a surface, like a pan or something that you would put over it, so it would kind of spread the flame out more. But for some reason, only one of them is flowing really well, and it's causing the flame to shoot out in one direction. So it's one directional, but it does work. And I added these copper wire around it. Actually, I'm sorry, this isn't copper. This is iron. I added this iron wire around it. First of all, iron was easier to bend, and I had, because of the size, I had this size available, and it was really easy to wrap. And it's also 3 pieces, 3 wires, and it comes up from inside the cap, like under here, to that point. And that was just to create like turbulence, if there was a leak here or there, then, you know, at that point it would also have a mixing kind of, right? These are clamped, not completely shut, but they're slightly open, and that allows air to flow upwards into this to mix well. And those wires, they cross over from each point. So like there's one crosses over here, it wraps around this way, goes this way, wraps that way, and then back that way. So each wire does that kind of thing. And let's see, I can't show points on here. I'll have to do it, and I'll have to edit it later in the video, and I'll just put it on there to show where, like, the motion that it travels. And that'd probably work better if I had a tripod, so that I could actually draw, but, you know, it won't move around as much. Trying to think about how I can do that right now. Okay, so I'll freeze frame, and then I'll draw it. I'll do it that way. Oh yeah, I think I'm starting to understand torch stoves now. Look at this beauty. Not to mention my little ammo can stove that I've made. It's kind of rickety right now. I mean, this right here obviously needs some work, but oh my god, that's going so well. I didn't expect this. This is so there are no pinholes on the copper. I actually put the pinholes in the can and stuck tiny aluminum tubes, 2 of them, pointing up, one at each one from opposite direction to give it kind of a vortex twist. I added 2 milliliters of alcohol and maybe I don't know, like 0.2 milliliters? What would that be? 0.2 milliliters? 20. I didn't expect this. This is well, this is my second successful torch stove. I took this apart and redid it. The first one was a little bit different. Let's see what's happening here. Something just changed. I don't think all the fuel burned out. I mean, that was burning pretty fast. Did something happen? Oh, the aluminum melted. Should use copper. I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see the aluminum melted. Right there on the tip. You see it? I mean, that is an ionizing flame right there. Very hot. Oh yeah. Oh wow, I could cook with that. That's incredible. And no leaks on the side, which is perfect. I was hoping that it would keep a seal. So how this works is the temperature. Oh, it did burn through all that gas. Wow, that just burns like right through that alcohol gas. That's incredible. Maybe it's not melted then. It always does these little poofs before it dies out. So that's just the last thing. So in the aluminum tube that's coming through here, that's, I can't remember. Oh, okay, so that would be where the gas comes out. So this is alcohol vapor. I made a U tube, kind of like, it's just like a little bent tube, and then I poked a hole in the bottom underneath the can, and then that way it could vent through the holes, and it also acts as a guide. So it acts as a flame guide towards the copper tubes. The copper tubes, I was gonna just do one, but I figured for turbulence it might be better to have 2 of them. And I chose a specific angle. I can't remember what it is right now, but if you can look at the top, you can see it's not 90 degrees to each other. I think it's like like 70 degrees maybe, or 72 degrees. It's something like that. But yeah, I did that for a reason. And then the holes aren't actually, so the holes come out in the middle, but they're in between these 2 pipes, and like the other one's on the other side, on that side, and it's facing that way. So this one faces to that corner, and this one faces to that corner. I'm trying to tell you guys, and hold the camera. It's really hot right now, so otherwise I'd pick it up. But this line right here on the side, it can also be a fuel line in. Which is convenient. You know, if you want to have like, you know, exterior fuel to it. It's also portable, so I could take it out of this wood stove if I want. It can burn multiple fuels, not just ethanol. It'll burn methanol. It'll burn acetone. It should burn, yeah, everything, like gasoline, paint, you know, like paint thinner, whatever. Anything flammable. Yeah, this place is all tore up because I've got like stuff everywhere. But anyways, that's, yeah, I had to get my camera. I'm like, I gotta record this real quick. Okay, bye.